So I went ahead and I purchased I can't remember the exact name. I will unbox it here in a second. I also got 2 packages from Brooktree. I had them develop my film and scan it. I'm going to see how good my scanning is compared to theirs. I'm kind of curious. I mean, it also is going to come down to my skill, I think, when we get to Lightroom. But I also got this from, I think, just Amazon or whatever, but it is new light seals for my film cameras. Okay. I mean, I got like a pretty cheap one, but it has the whole kit. Honestly, the foam looks pretty good. Okay, well, that was that. We can go ahead and open these. I don't know which one to open. I think this one has a lot more film in it. Oh, shit, I'm rich. Oh, shit. I'd never like really shoot black and white, so the color of it like threw me off. So yeah, we're going to take out these strips basically and insert it into the new device that I have purchased. All right. Oh yes, this is what it's called. Easy35. Basically, it is a device that you screw onto the end of your lens. You need a macro lens, so I had to buy one of those as well. And because I have a crop sensor, I had to get within a range of millimeters. So I got a 60 mil, and it's the cheapest, I'm pretty sure, like higher quality macro lens I could get. I was gonna get the autofocus one, but I just didn't see myself using this lens other than for this dedicated setup. So it will probably be stayed screwed on forever. Okay, it's a 7 Artisans. Here is the lens. It actually looks pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. It's very narrow. Smooth. Nice. Oh, okay, so it's no click. This is your aperture, by the way, guys. There's no clicking, which I think is I don't know if it's a cost-saving thing, but I know that it's definitely a thing on cheaper lenses. Hopefully we have the right adapter, because this does look pretty small. This is what it looks like when you open it. Okay, so this, it's like a tissue paper, but I'm assuming this is a tube for scanning. Then another one. Maybe you need longer ones. Okay. Here are these are the adapters. They're looking a little big. And then here's the actual backlighting device where the film will go through. I think the first step is to figure out what adapter fits on this lens, then to fit, I think, a tube onto the adapter lens, then to screw this thing on. So there's a number right there with the weird circle with the line through it. That's the diameter of the lens. So 49. This is a 46 to 62. Yes. Oh, there we go. Okay, 49 to 62. Screw this on. Oh. Nice. Whoa. Oh. Oh, damn. Which one should we do? We could do a black and white one. I feel like black and white would probably be easy. Okay, this one's Cinestill. Let's try that.
Let's try this Cinestill.
I mean, that looks pretty cool. Now, set this on the table. Screw this John on. I hate that noise. All right. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. If you're doing this for the first time, do not follow what I did, because Cinestill was the worst thing to start with. And you can see in the background, I'm trying to figure this all out. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you on another film stock exactly how to do it. Okay, so we are now in Lightroom Classic. I'm assuming you already have Negative Lab Pro installed, so I'm gonna skip that part. It's very easy, and they have instructions on the website. This is what your image is gonna look like, or your negative is gonna look like, or what it should look like. I think in my case, I kind of had the backlighting a little too bright, so some of the highlights are a little bit blown out. Negative Lab is pretty good at handling this on its own, so it should fix it for you. If not, I'll show you a couple settings that you can change to fix this. Here is a photo that I already converted. This is what it looked like before, obviously. Here's after, just a little light edit. These photos aren't very spectacular in themselves anyways, but yeah, I just figured they were good practice ones. This is the first ever roll of film that I shot. It was Color Plus 200, pretty easygoing film stock, so I figured it was a good practice. We're gonna start by picking the color, the dropper here for the white balance. You're always going to select the border, the white border here. It's going to convert it to this gray negative. Then we're going to press Control N or go to File, Plugin Extras, Negative Lab Pro. Here, I would recommend setting the buffer to something like 15%. Essentially, you're just trying to make sure that there is no black border or white border showing. So you really want to just use it to crop in on the colors or parts of your photo. I mean, specifically subject would be best. So let's see if I do 10. See, it's a little bit not enough. 15. We have just barely the border there. 25. Okay, that's good enough. So, color model and all this stuff, you can feel free to look up if you want. Basically, color model here is just going to simulate these two types of scanners. If you know what a Frontier is and you know what a Nujabes is, I'm pretty sure I don't need to explain that then. It's just a scanner and they interpret colors differently. So after all this stuff is done, we're going to do convert one negative. And right out of the gate, it looks pretty good. Skin tones are good. Everything is good. There is a little slight bug that I keep running into where the quality will be kind of low, or there'll be blotches in it and stuff like that. That will go away as soon as you click this. I don't know why. But after clicking this is also where you can do some more tweaks. These are pretty much like presets, but there's also presets here in settings. I would not recommend doing these first starting out because I feel like it would be very overwhelming, but I can show you an example of one. So let's say Kodak Gold kind of just applies a preset that would look good on Kodak Gold. This is Color Plus 200. So we're just going to go back to standard. The ones that I would recommend if you want is NLP Rich and NLP Neutral. So Rich is just going to kind of make it more contrasty, punchy, which honestly, Rich is kind of probably more how it looked in real life because it was pretty dark in the street, if I remember. Neutral, pretty good for doing your own editing, but as you can see, it does change the tone profile here as well. So we're going to go back to standard, and in here is where I would recommend doing most of your editing. If you try to edit in here, things will be backwards. So your exposure, if you turn your exposure down, which you think would get darker, it does not. It actually gets lighter. So for the most part, if you're doing anything lighting related, try to do it in here. Then lab fade is pretty useful if you're trying to go for a certain aesthetic. It kind of gives you that washed out look that some film stocks have, or if you underexpose, you know what I'm talking about. But other than that, if you do no lab fade, kind of just makes everything brighter and the shadows are lifted a little bit. These are pretty useful as well. Soft highs and soft lows. They just kind of do exactly what they say. They soften the highs and lows. Then you, of course, have white balance, mids, highs, shadows. I haven't really had to use or change any of these settings yet. So I'm not really sure on what advice I can give here, but something I did notice was the HSL. If you change it from lab to crystal to pack-on, or I'm assuming I'm saying that right, Pacone, I'm not sure. It does change kind of the colors and how things are interpreted. I would recommend just doing whatever you like. If something gets you closer to what you are looking for, then just use that. So we're going to hit apply here. And one really important thing that I want to point out here is that the resolution, it is so much better. So if we look here, I want you to pay attention around this part, his ear, and his lips. Look how pixelated that is. So if we see here, the colors are a little bit different. There's a lot more blue in this one than this one, but even just the detail here is so much more preserved. And honestly, I feel like I probably could have done a better job at doing the scanning here, because I think I was slightly out of focus on the camera when I was scanning. So it could be even better than this. That shows you the difference in quality. And I think that alone is, I don't know, pretty well worth the money, especially with how expensive scanning gets. This is the scan, like I was saying, that I got originally from the lab. It is noticeably cooler, but in my opinion, I like my version better because it is a little bit more airy, a little bit more warm, vibrant, and he's got some greenish, not so flattering tones in his skin here compared to this one. And also, when I shoot on Color Plus, I would like to think that it's a pretty warm film, and you can see this lady's leg. It's also, it just looks a lot more natural. Even the bag, just everything looks a little bit more accurate to real life. Every film stock has their own unique color though, so if that is not the film stock you're using, then don't expect that, or if you don't want it to look like that, it's no big deal. One more scan that I want to just point out here is this one. So I don't know what was going on, but the original scan is, first of all, a lot more green. And the other thing is that for some reason, when I was scanning and converting this one, or when I was converting this one, I had to go in here and make a custom mask for these trees. And you can still kind of see it. There's like purple and magenta or blue in here. I'm not sure what is causing that, but if I go here and I turn off the mask, then obviously you can see how much more there is. Like, I don't know what is necessarily causing that. It might be the fact that the light was too high in the back, or a light leak or something like that, but I am not sure. So all I did was make a mask and kind of do some edits to the colors here. But I think that is going to be about the end of the video. And yeah, I'm trying to go to some more meets lately, and I'm probably going to do Cars and Coffee this Saturday. and maybe a late night meet the night before. And I will probably bring my Fujifilm and do some point of view, walking around, walk and talk video. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I hope this kind of helped you. It was more of a documentation on me learning this and just my trials and tribulations. But yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoy and see you next time.